Good morning, guests, delegates and fellow speakers. My name is Andrew Turner, Divisional Manager for Reza Hygiene in Saudi Arabia and your keynote speaker for today. Welcome to the Food Service Hygiene Dialogues brought to you by Clean Middle East. Reza Hygiene are delighted to be part of such a great event, both as guest speaker but also the lead event sponsor. Reza Hygiene, as one of the leading hygiene solution providers in the Middle East, welcomes events like this that are relevant to the hygiene industry. It is key to the success of ourselves and other hygiene companies to understand and be up to date on the current difficulties faced within the food service sector. Up-to-date knowledge is the key to the success of any industry. The next 2 days cover a host of topics relevant to our industry, and I'm sure we will all benefit greatly from the open discussion and expert analysis from those involved. I myself have been in the hygiene industry for the last 19 years across UK, Europe and the Middle East, initially starting life as a development chemist before moving into various sales and account management roles. The last 18 years have seen significant changes, advancements and improvements in the hygiene industry, and especially in recent years in the Middle East. When I first arrived in Saudi Arabia 9 years ago, it was a shock to observe that the level of understanding of hygiene standards was fairly basic and the existence of hygiene systems almost non-existent. This was even apparent in top brands throughout the kingdom. The use of household cleaning chemicals and equipment was common throughout the industry, and more worrying was the lack of understanding as to why this was bad practice. Thankfully, things have now changed, and standards, knowledge base and general understanding has increased, and we now have customers actually asking the right questions and inquiring about things like HACCP, CEIH training, colour coding, log kill rates for sanitizers and standard operating procedures. This shows that hygiene is beginning to be thought about at a much higher level. There are still many improvements that can be made across the kingdom, but it is a very different place to where it was 9 years ago. The last 12 to 18 months have been exceptionally challenging for the entire world, and particularly the food service industry, due to the ongoing global COVID-19 pandemic. Not only did the industry suffer in terms of significant revenue loss due to enforced closure, but the world has had to make significant changes and rethink the way business is conducted. If there are any positives to come from it in any way whatsoever, it is that hygiene is now at the forefront of everyone's mind. This should accelerate improvements in overall hygiene, infection prevention protocols and food safety within all industry sectors, thus giving an overall improvement in hygiene standards. Any improvement in hygiene standards should be seen as a significant benefit. Hygiene is often, unfortunately, seen as one of the least important factors in running a business. This is none so more apparent than in the Middle East. If costs need to be cut, one of the first areas that suffers is hygiene. What is usually not considered, though, is the negative impact this will have on a business. Hygiene isn't just critical to food safety, but it is critical to the overall visual aesthetic of the establishments. It is very basic statistical fact that a clean, visually appearing location attracts more footfall than a similar unclean environment. The modern consumer has a whole host of choices in terms of where to eat, visit, shop and stay. If they are not happy in one place, they will simply move to another place. Maintaining a good level of hygiene is critical to maintaining a loyal brand following. In the food service industry, a complete, robust cleaning hygiene system is a success to maintaining the correct level of hygiene. A good hygiene system should be simple to use, be backed up by comprehensive training, and ensure that any area cleaned is safe for the production or consumption of food. A correct system from any hygiene company should have the following basics: professional hygiene chemicals designed specifically for the environment, a high-level EN certified log 5 kill sanitizer, dilution dispenser points for safe, accurate dispensing of all chemicals, easy to follow naming and numbering system of all products. This makes training much easier. Full supporting data, so material safety data sheets, product data sheets, point of use signs, standard operating procedures, and wall charts covering all areas of use. Training documentation and full supporting documentation, including training sessions, and full support from the hygiene company on this. Training's key to the success of understanding. If an end user isn't trained, he's not going to be able to clean properly. Color-coded tools and equipment as the final point. These are just the basics of a correct hygiene system. Anything above and beyond that is a benefit. Hygiene companies like Reza Hygiene are there to ensure you maintain the highest standard of hygiene at all times. They ensure your staff are trained to the highest standard and you are kept aware of any changes in legislation in the industry. Maintaining hygiene standards is easy with the right system, the right training, and the right products. If cost reduction is always going to be the biggest concern in hygiene, then standards will fall. Hygiene should never be affected by budget cuts. I'd like to finish my address with a topic that is probably the biggest buzzword, not only in the Middle East, but worldwide, and that is sustainability. You will have all heard it, seen it in LinkedIn if you're on LinkedIn, and probably used it yourself in some form of marketing. But what do we mean by it? In general, the hygiene industry is very poor when we mention sustainability and environmentally friendly products. We use a lot of water, we create a lot of waste, especially with paper, and we use chemical cleaning products that end up down the drains in the sewage and drainage systems. As more and more people become aware of the requirement to become more sustainable, and with things like Saudi Vision 2030 and high-level projects leading the way like the Red Sea Development Company in bringing environmental sustainability into the spotlight, it is essential we all start to adapt. Cleaning and hygiene can be very sustainable. It is something Reza Hygiene has always pushed to advance within the Middle East, and we hope others follow suit. The use of super concentrated chemicals, recycled packaging and materials, products that require less water, recycled paper, and most importantly, environmentally friendly green chemical products all help towards a sustainable future in hygiene. Clean can be green. I hope everyone enjoys the next 2 days and we all gain something new in order to make improvements to our relevant industry sectors. Thank you very much. Goodbye.